We have all been there. You sit down, you have your coffee, and you are ready to work. You just want to check one small thing on your API. You open Postman and you wait. You wait for it to load. You wait for it to update. Then it asks you to log in. It wants you to sync everything to the cloud. By the time you actually get to send a request, your coffee is cold and you have lost your focus. For a long time, Postman was the king. It was the tool we all used. But lately, it feels like it has become too big. It is heavy. It uses a lot of your computer's power. It feels more like a social network for developers than a simple tool to get work done. I realized I was spending more time managing the tool than actually testing my code. I wanted something that felt fast, something that did not force me to create an account, and something that kept my data local. If you know Obsidian, the note taking app, it is the same idea. Your stuff is just files on your computer, no cloud, no account, no lock in. I wanted that same model but for testing APIs. That is when I found Requestly. Today, I want to share why I made the switch. I'm not going to give you a tutorial or show you every single button. Instead, I want to talk about how this tool changed my day to day life as a developer. Whether you work on the front end or the back end, we all face the same headaches, and Requestly is built to solve them. One of the biggest issues I have with modern tools is that they want everything to be in the cloud. Sometimes that is great, but when I am working on a private project or a secret API, I don't necessarily want my API keys and data sitting on someone else's server. Requestly is local first. This is a big deal. When you open it, your work stays on your machine. You don't have to log in. You don't have to wait for a sync. It's just there, ready to go. It feels lightweight and fast. It doesn't take up all your RAM. It feels like the tool we used to have, simple, fast, and powerful. If you have used Postman for years, you probably have a lot of work saved there. The thought of moving sounds like a nightmare. But Requestly has a simple import button. You can move your years of works in just few seconds. Before we look at the special features, let's talk about the basics. If you're moving from another tool, you want to know if you can still do your normal, everyday work. The answer is a clear yes. Requestly has all the usual features you would expect from a professional API client, but they feel much smoother. You have your standard get, post, put, and delete requests. You can easily add your parameters, your headers, and your body data. If you are working with JSON, it has a nice built-in editor that makes everything look clean. It even has a button to beautify your code so it's easy to read. Organization is also very simple. You can group your requests into collections. This is great for keeping your different projects separate. There is also a history tab. If you made a request 2 days ago and forgot the details, you can just go back and find it. It also handles variables and environments. If you have a development URL and a production URL, you don't have to change them manually every time. You just set them up as environments and switch between them with one click. It does everything the old tools do, but it does not feel like it's struggling to keep up. It's fast, snappy, and stays out of your way. But the API client is only one part of the story. The most exciting part about Requestly is something called Interceptor. Usually, if I want to see what my website is doing, I have to open the browser's inspect tool and look at the tiny network tab. It is hard to read and even harder to change. With Requestly, you can connect your browser directly to the app. Every time your website talks to a server, it shows up in Requestly in big clear text. But here is the best part. You are not just watching. You can actually grab a live request and change it. Imagine you are on your live website and you see a bug. Instead of trying to fix it in the code and redeploying, you can catch the request in Requestly, change the data, and hit send again. You can see how the site reacts to a different data instantly. It makes debugging feel like a game rather than a struggle. We have all been in this situation. You are ready to build the front end of a new feature. You have the design ready, but the backend team says the API won't be ready for another week. So you sit and wait. Or you start writing fake data in your real code. You add messy lines of code just to show a dummy message on a screen. Then you have to remember to delete that fake code later and you might accidentally ship it to production. Requestly solves this with rules. You can tell Requestly when my website asks for this specific data, don't actually go to the server. Instead, just give it this JSON message I wrote here. Suddenly, your website thinks the API is finished. You can build the whole feature against this mock data. You don't have to wait for anyone. You don't have to mess up your clean code with fake data. When the real API is finally ready, you just turn off the rule and your site talks to the real server. It saves so much time and keeps your code clean. Another great thing about these rules is that you can test for bad situations. What happens to your website if the server crashes and sends back a 500 error? Usually, it is hard to make a server crash on purpose just to test your error message. In Requestly, you can just tell it to return a 500 error for any request you want. You can see if your oops, something went wrong message actually shows up, or you can add a delay. You can make a request take 10 seconds to finish. This lets you see if your loading spinner looks good and does not break the layout. It lets you test for the worst case scenarios without actually having a disaster. One thing that always bothered me about other tools is how they save your work. They want to save it in their private cloud. Requestly lets you to use local workspaces. You can save your API requests into a simpler folder on your computer because they are just files in a folder. You can put them in Git. You can save them right next to your project code. When a new person joins your team, they don't need a special invite to a cloud workspace. They just download the project and the API tests are right there. It makes sense. We use Git for our code. Why would not we use it for our API tests? If you have ever seen a bright red CORS error in your browser console, you know how frustrating it is. It usually means you are trying to test something locally but the server won't allow it. It can stop your work for hours while you wait for a backend developer to fix the headers. Requestly has a magic fix for this. You can create a rule that adds the missing headers to the response as it passes through your computer. To the browser, it looks like the server gave permission. The red error disappears and you can get back to work. It is like a shortcut that lets you skip the most annoying part of web development. I also love how Requestly handles small boring tasks. For example, when you log into a site, you usually get a token. You then have to copy that token and paste it into every other request you want to test. Doing this 20 times a day is a waste of time. In Requestly, you can write a tiny script, just a few lines of simple JavaScript. It can say, when I log in, take the token and save it. From then on, all your other tests will use that token automatically. You never have to copy and paste again. It also lets you do things like auto incrementing. If you are testing a list of items, you can make the page number increase by one every time you hit the button. It is a small things like this that makes you feel like your tool is working for you, not against you. I did not realize how much Postman was slowing me down until I stopped using it. It's easy to get used to a tool being slow or annoying because that's just how it is. But it does not have to be that way. Switching to Requestly made my work feel light again. I can open the app, test an endpoint, and be done in seconds. No logins, no updates, no heavy loading screens. It is an open source tool built for developers who just want to get things done. If you're feeling the same frustration I was, I highly recommend giving it a try. Use the browser extension if you want something super simple, or download the desktop app if you want the full power of the Interceptor. Either way, you will probably find yourself wondering why you waited so long to make the switch.